Hello, this is F. Welcome to episode 34 of my Ottoman Empire campaign. Last episode we captured Berlin and rolled back Commonwealth influence in Central Europe, restoring lost lands to our Prussian allies. It was a decisive victory and a turning point for the campaign. Today we turn inward. The focus is on internal development, roads, buildings and economic recovery for the people. We also replenish and reposition our armies, manoeuvring them like pieces on a chessboard to defend our gains. Peace is brief and fragile, and the passing of the old guard casts a long shadow. Is this a sign from Allah, or simply the cost of empire? All we can do is prepare, strengthen our foundations, and face whatever comes next for this great realm. Let's get into it. War with Poland, Lithuania continues. We have captured Königsberg, Gdansk, Breslau and Berlin and restored these lands to our allies, the Prussians. As we stated in the intro, we are looking to focus inward on our development, focusing on building infrastructure and economic buildings to prosper the people and to try and increase our treasury. With our extended forces on various fronts, I think it's 4 full stacks now, we have to prioritise income expenditure. Or income generation, I'd say, rather than income expenditure. So a lot of this episode is quite low-key. So grab your favourite drink, sit back and relax. And let's see how the Ottoman Empire focuses on redeveloping itself and pushing into the future. So I think the first thing we need to look at is trying to end the war with the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. I think if we can lay siege to Vilnius, we can try and force them to accept a peace on our terms. I see there are allies of Russia and the Italian state, so let's see if we can force them into a peace. Then that could be useful. I mean, they're definitely not going to give us anything whatsoever for this, but they will accept a peace. Okay, that is great news. So I think with them at peace, the only real enemy we have currently is Kurland, so we can maneuver our forces around. Again, we are at peace with the Russian Empire at present, so we do have some troops that have been built in Dagestan. But again, we're not expecting a lot of action. We hope that the peace will hold out for a few more years just so we can continue that economic development. We'll bring our forces from Berlin back to Venice just to ensure that there's no unrest or shenanigans happening with the Italian states and our Venetian holdings. With our expectation of going to war with Spain, I have given this thought and I think we need to try and sweeten the deal we have with the French. So we have given them military access to our lands. We need to just keep them on good terms, I think, because I believe the French are allies of the Spanish. So it is very possible that as soon as we declare war on Spain, the French will declare war on us. But we do have that little gap in Europe where we're not actually bordering any of their territories, so I think it won't matter too much until we get to the region of Spain proper. We might get harassed in the Mediterranean by some of their fleets if they have any, but I don't think Spain will be a major threat. As I said, we are at peace now with the major powers, so we'll just continue to focus on just manoeuvring our forces around and just getting them out of the way. Or at least not out of the way, but getting them to the frontiers of our empire. And as you can see, we're looking at upgrading the roads. I can't believe that I've left the roads this late in the campaign to be upgraded. We usually upgrade them, I usually upgrade them fairly quickly as soon as the technology becomes available or the resources. But in this case, we've just been so focused on expanding our territorial ambitions that we've just neglected a lot of the internal development for the empire. As you can see, Warsaw already has, I think, the final development of roads, so they are way ahead of most of our territories within the empire. So we're a large empire, but we're still severely underdeveloped at this time. And we'll end the turn there and just see what transpires next. So Russian forces are on the move. We'll just need to see how long peace remains, but at this time I don't think we can worry too much. So there is a small detachment of Polish forces within East Prussia. They do have forces there, so that's good. So I think they'll be able to hold off for a while yet. No major concerns, I don't think, and we'll just continue going around and looking at developing the infrastructure. We continue to focus on Madrasa just to get that conversion rate back up to acceptable levels, which should be about 100% in all regions. It's just an extremely slow process, as you can well imagine. But I'm confident that we'll be able to get there in no time, really push the boundaries of our technological progress and impact many of the citizens across the empire. So we'll have the Western Army moving back towards Venice just to secure that city and ensure that the objective remains within our grasp. I believe we also need to ensure that both Warsaw and Lwów, Austria and potentially Hungary need to be within our control to ensure victory in this campaign. So we'll definitely have a full stack stationed in Warsaw just to make sure that there is no loss of territory in the northern or central theatre. And then once we have developed this eastern army in Baghdad or in Mesopotamia, we'll push them both to Azerbaijan and Isfahan just to capture Persia and then block any potential Maratha Confederacy raid that will inevitably come across the Gudosian desert. So that's definitely something we need to keep an eye on. I think last time we spoke about them potentially coming through the Straits of Gibraltar, so we need to try and secure that as well and just reduce any Maratha ships coming in and harassing our core provinces. We definitely do not need them to harass our core provinces. Okay, looking at our ministers, so we've got one minister who's got a tax farmer trait or follower, so that is not ideal. We do need to replace him, I think, because that's just going to impact our public order. Most of the guys are well, like the ministers are keeping well. I don't even know what I'm saying. Most of the ministers are adequate in their jobs, but yeah, we'll get Makan Husrev as our new Minister of Finance or the Treasury, so that's great. And we'll end the turn there. What are we now on? 1732. So as I said in the beginning, this is quite a slow burn. We are just manoeuvring our forces into position and trying to get as much development done while we have a period of peace across the empire, and at least give our citizens a rest from this continuous fighting. So we've got some buildings completed, we've got a new town has emerged, another new town has emerged. Denmark has finally been wiped out by Sweden. Okay, so another faction lost in this campaign. Sweden is continuing to expand, although I think they have lost a few territories in Russia, so that is not ideal. I think they still hold Riga, but they don't have St. Petersburg. I'm not sure if they had actually captured St. Petersburg during the campaign. I need to have a look back. And they've lost that Karelia. I think they had that region in the very most north part of Russia at one point potentially. But yeah, we also need to be mindful of of Sweden. If they got too powerful and absorbed much of the Russian Empire, they'll become a really big threat to us. So that's definitely something we need to consider. And again, I'm just going around looking at roads where we can do some improvements that will help a lot. And Yerevan, as I stated last time, their Islamic conversion rate is very low, like below 15-20%, so getting that madrasa in there will definitely help. And we have quite a few imams across Central Europe just slowly helping to convert the population. So that is definitely a bonus, and again we are ensuring that the population will benefit in the long term from improved public order as well. And the Northern Army has just entered the territory of Crimea, so that's great. We are definitely not doing any peace treaties or any sort of treaties with the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. I don't care if we were the only nation that completely surrounded them, we're not trading with them at all. Okay, so yeah, 1333, we have a new imam, I believe, and some buildings have been completed. So let's just move these imams around just to ensure we've got as many territories as possible, getting the benefits of conversion. And okay, so the Polish have declared war on, or not declared war, but hold on. Okay, so we've just lost our general, Damat Ali. That is not great. He was a great general. So the Central Army has lost Damat Ali, which is not what we want to do. We'll definitely be holding a state funeral for him, and we'll hire a new general. And what is he like? Oh, no traits and 53 years old. That is perfect. Okay, what more could we want? So just going back to Königsberg, the Prussians are still at war with the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and now Königsberg is once again under siege. I mean, we can't keep bailing the Prussians out. I think if things were to go downhill and Königsberg was to fall to the Prussians, then we definitely will need to step in and take control of the city, and it's something I don't really want to do. I don't extend our lines that far north, so we're on the Baltic. That will really put pressure on the Swedes to potentially declare war on us. Be really too close for comfort. That's not something I really want. And again, just looking now at the map of Europe, so the French ports are being blockaded, so that's also impacting the amount of income we are generating from our trade with France, which again is not ideal, but Savoy at least are keeping them in check to a degree, so we can't be too upset about that. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot happening in the other nations and a lot of things to consider. But again, with even considering the return of Astrakhan back to the Russians, I don't mind it so much. We're just pulling our forces back slightly, just building a new perimeter, a new frontier for the empire that's more manageable and easier to maintain control of. So I think what we've done with that in that regard is good. We just can't extend our lines too much. It will just leave the cities too exposed, and even one could argue Kiev is not a city that we need for this campaign, but we will keep it for now unless a new opportunity arises where we can maybe shield ourselves from the Russians. But again, we need to make sure that Kiev is protected and won't easily fall into Russian hands. Okay, so we've got a new Hashashin in Austria. Let's get them out and see what we can find across the territories. We need to also be mindful of France, United Provinces. Okay, they've declared war. Yes, United Provinces came back. That's fine. We've got a few more roads completed and improved. Our income is extremely low at the moment, so it's really going to hamper our ability to progress our development in this area. And I think it could be a good time, while there's peace and while we're manoeuvring our forces, I think it'd be a good time to consider potentially invading North Africa. I definitely think that could be a good opportunity. We are at peace with the Polish at the moment, and I think we're going to try and get into North Africa as quickly as possible. It would definitely be a risk moving our only army in Central Europe down towards the African coast, and I might say it's a calculated risk. It's probably a foolhardy risk, and we might not even do it, but I think we need to just try. It's the only current army we have free I think, where we can extract forces from. Either that, or we need to look at taking 2 of our full stacks and dividing and halving them, and taking the resulting halves and forming a new army that we can send to North Africa. But I think the Russians are a big threat. I don't think the Polish are going to be a massive threat going forwards, and I'm hopeful that the Prussians can repel the army that is sitting in, or that's besieging Königsberg, and then at least put pressure on the remaining Polish forces. So we've got most of our trade lanes open. I think all but one of the trade ports are built and completed, and the Russians have decided to declare war against us. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Okay, only the Russians have joined us. We're still at war with Courland, so peace has officially ended in 1733. I think that was all of maybe around 2 years worth of peace. So that's something. Yeah, that's something. And our Sultan has died. Mustafa II, long may he live, has passed away into the next world. Oh my god, that we do not need that timing. And the Russians have decided to hit Grozny farmlands, and we have a new leader, Mahmud I. So let's just take a gander. I mean, he's not bad at all. He's agrarian and tactician, so that's good. He is 64, so I don't expect him to last many years. So that is great. So our government popularity is sitting at around 59%. We are back at war with the Russians, which is not ideal. So it's a good timing. We have our Northern Army in Ukraine, and we'll just do some speed runs, yeah, just remove these impotent Russian forces, thinking they can harass our territories and put our people at risk. We'll replenish our forces, and I think we need to head towards Moscow and just put a little bit of pressure on the Russian forces. So what do they have there? Okay, we've got 3 line, they have 2 line and some cavalry. So we might need to take them out soon, because they'll just probably harass our territory without end at this rate, which is not ideal. We've got some additional Mamluks being created in Baghdad, and I think we need some cannons, especially when we launch the attack against the Persians. Again, our income is quite low. I am a bit concerned with the Russians declaring war on us. I wonder if the Polish will do so as well. The Prussians have lost. Königsberg has fallen once again. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This changes the whole dynamic. I don't think we can go to North Africa now. We'll have to bring our forces back. I mean, I don't know what the Prussian troops are doing. I literally do not know what the Prussians are doing. They're expecting us to answer all their prayers. We cannot keep doing this. I think we're going to have to look at declaring war against the Polish once more. They've got quite a few line infantry being built and ready to go. What can we see? Yeah, okay, we're not at war with Poland yet, but again, our income is still very low. Let's end the turn. 1734. I wonder what the next turn will bring. Spain is perpetually wanting to form an alliance, and I don't know why. It is very frustrating. We need to take them out. And again, that opens a whole dynamic, taking Spain out and opening up the new world. So yeah, something we need to consider in the future as well. But I think let's get our Hashashin out and just start exploring the map, because I am wary of the Polish forces. We're going to bring that army back. So we're taking the Central Army back into Warsaw. It was a foolhardy to send them down to Africa anyway. Wasted a bit of time over there. Let's just have a look at our forces. So we've got the cannons, got the Mamluks. Okay, we don't have any income yet sufficiently to build the Vizierate, but yeah, we'll just continue developing our forces, I think, for now. not our forces, we'll just develop our cities for now, and just continue to keep an eye on the political situation brewing back up north along the northern and eastern frontiers of the empire. So we're still not at war with the Polish, which is a great sign. We are sending our army back up north. We just need to keep an eye on any Russian forces that are starting to maneuver south. So we're going to start harassing the enemy, and we'll bring our imam back down. We're continuing to convert the populations of the area, and I don't think there's much else we can do at this point, so we'll end that turn again. There are a few Russian forces in Gdansk, but I think if the Polish send a big enough army, they'll be able to recapture Gdansk, and then we're repeating the whole situation again from not long ago. We're not signing any peace treaties with those damn Prussians. The damn Polish. God, and it looks like they just all left Königsberg, which is weird. They've left the whole city open. Okay, that's a bit strange. A new casting technique, feel free to pause at your leisure if you would like to read that in full. We're moving the Central Army back north of Warsaw. I do not trust the Polish at this time, and we can get some additional income from Warsaw finally. Where else can we get income from? Oh, we still got Hungary is... do we want to risk it? Yeah, I think we need the additional income. And Lwów, can we risk that? I mean, it does stop the villages from growing, but yeah, we just need that additional income. So currently looking at that, it's only the very core of the Balkans that are still at a high level of unrest in that amber colour. So we are making steady progress, which is really, really good. And again, just looking around, seeing what is going on currently. Not been much movement in Italy since the Italian states captured Milan from the Spanish. They haven't gone down to Naples and captured Naples, so something we have to be mindful of when we do declare war against the Spanish Empire. Okay, we're doing more building infrastructure. I think very soon we'll probably look to take out that small Russian force that is terrorizing the town of Grozny. But yeah, at the moment there's not much else we can do. We are continuing to look at development across the empire, enjoying the lovely bird sounds as we maneuver around the map. Okay, yeah, we do need to try and look to speed up the process of capturing Isfahan as well, because like we know, the Mughal Empire has been destroyed, so no doubt the Maratha Confederacy will start to march forward towards the Persians. Okay, so they've got 2 cavalry and 2 line infantry. We have 3 line infantry and 1 cavalry, so we are outnumbered by the cavalry, but we should hopefully be able to keep the line infantry at bay. I think this is going to be a quick one. We're going to really just move forward and just attempt to take out the Russian forces as promptly as we can. The terrain is fairly hilly, so we do need to be mindful of that with our Israelis, as their reload skill is quite poor and their accuracy is quite poor, especially, well, even against the Russian forces, let's be honest. We do need to upgrade these to the Nazim Isadit. I would feel more comfortable if they were Nazim Isadit, but alas, we've got to work with what we have. But to be fair, I mean, the Israelis have done a good job keeping everyone, or leading the expansion of the empire, to be fair. That's the main unit that has held everything together. So we've got some Russian units, we've got a couple of line with their spikes, so we have to be mindful of that when we send our cavalry in. We do have the advantage that our Delhi horsemen have the ability to fire while running, and we have a Russian cavalry line coming in promptly. Our Delhi horsemen should be able to make at least fire at them when they get within range, and we have our line infantry as well. So let's have a look at this. Come on, guys, aim and fire. Come on, fire. Where's your volleys? Oh, that's close range. Oh, okay, they're hitting our Delhi horsemen. Okay, we're losing quite a few Delhi horsemen. We've lost 5 units already. I think our guys were going into square formation, but we need to just send them into melee. Come on, guys, get in there and help the Delhi horsemen. We're down to 50 men already. Oh, wait, they are running. So let's quickly reform the line, guys. Get ready to see if you can take some pot shots at them. Let's reform our Israeli line as well. Okay, a few gunshots went off, but nothing too crazy. We have another Russian cavalry unit moving in the forest, and the Russian line infantry are coming in as well. So let's maneuver our forces quickly. Let's reposition. Come on, guys, run across the battlefield. Pronto, pronto. Russian cavalry are continuing to move down our right flank, with the Russian line infantry heading down the centre. So I'm confident we should be able to do well. The balance of power is currently 50-50, but we do have that additional line infantry, and we're now on par with their cavalry, having one unit of cavalry each. It looks like the other cavalry unit continues to flee the battlefield, so that is a positive sign. So as we maneuver our forces forward, we'll try and use our third line to just hit them from the flank when they get within range. Let's see. Come on, guys. Are you guys moving forward? Looks like the Russian line has stopped for now. We'll continue to maneuver our forces forward. Just get in range with our muskets and just do some devastating volleys. Now again, our Israelis do not benefit from fire by rank, which is unfortunate, but as soon as we have our Nazimi Sadit, we should benefit from that European technology. Let's see, can we move our cavalry up? Let's move them up and see, because we don't want them too close to the enemy in case they get hit out by the cavalry charge, and that will really deplete them. They're already down 10 men, so we have to really keep hold of our Delhi horsemen, and that is our general unit for this battle. And as our Israelis look so cool. They remind me a lot of the Maratha Confederacy unit as well. I'm sure it's a similar skin, just coloured green instead of orange or amber. So we'll move our forces forward. Okay, I think the Russians are coming forward, and we should volley. Yes, guys, get your volleys out. Attacking the Russians, and the Russian bear are not scared whatsoever. They just march into the gunfire. Our Delhi horsemen have fired on the enemy cavalry. Wow, they've lost quite a few men. I think we'll need to pull them back. And it looks like the Russians are fleeing. Oh, let's go after them. They're fleeing already. Let's go after them. I think they dropped down to like 42 men from 60, so there was a good number killed in the first few volleys, and we continue to exchange fire with the Russian line, and we have lost a good number of Israelis from that first unit. 7 men down in one unit, or 10 men down in one unit, and about nearly 20 down in the second unit. So we are taking casualties very quickly. Oh wow, we are losing many men in this engagement. This is not good. They just dropping like flies. I think the Russian accuracy is just that much better than ours. Okay, our our Delhi horsemen are coming back. Hopefully they can do some firing shots into the back of the Russian line and just give them a bit of a scare and let them rout. Listen to that musket fire. It sounds so cool. It's one thing I do like about this time period, it's just that musket fire. Okay, we'll maneuver our forces into position. Our Delhi horsemen are coming into play now, and they've sent a volley off. I think a few men have been hit, and I think we're just going to send them into the side or the flank of... No, we're going to send them into the back of the enemy line. That should cripple that line infantry. Hopefully we don't get too many friendly fire coming from our units. We're marching our units in melee. Russian line has broken. Okay, I think this is it. Both lines look like they have broken. So that's great news. We'll move our line infantry out of the way. And we'll just use our artillery horsemen to run down the enemy as swiftly as we can. Okay, so that was a good battle. I do fear we've lost quite a lot of men, especially in the Israeli line. I mean, none of them have experience, and none of them seem to have gained experience in this encounter with a small Russian detachment. So yeah, we've lost a lot of men. I dread to think how many we've lost in this engagement. We've probably gone well over the 10% target that we've had from the beginning of the campaign. So yeah, again, like, if you guys have any ideas on how I can improve my tactics and my strategy, then do let me know. I seem to just line up straight ahead and just move in and don't think about tactics all that well. We will review the battle stats in a moment once we're back on the campaign map, but I do fear that we've lost a fair number of men. So what's that? 100 men, so a fifth of our force. So what's that? Nearly 20%, around 20% of our forces lost in that engagement. I mean, it's not the end of the world, and the Russians are fleeing, so we're just going to have to chase them down, I think, and just exact a toll on them. So we do have balance of power in our favour. Again, 53 men taken out, and they continue to flee. What is with these Russians? Just fleeing. Oh my gosh, and we can't repair that. But we'll repair the farmland. So I think next time we'll have to run down those Russians and just kick them out of our territory, so there's no harassing of the villages and towns across the region. Okay, so what's the next turn going to bring? Spain again is offering an alliance. This is unreal. We need to declare war on them soon so they can stop sending us alliance requests. This is just crazy. And the Russians are harassing our farmlands, but yeah, we'll take them out next turn, so that's fine. It doesn't look like any more units are, or any more factions are declaring war on us, so that's fine. I think with the destruction of this Russian unit, we can repair our forces and replenish them, and then repair the farmland and just keep them in Don Viosco at present, and then we can just counter any potential Russian forces that do come through this northern region of the Caucasus. And do we need to upgrade our units? I think we'll leave the units for now. Got a new town, new units. The Cherokee Nation has been destroyed. And then again, feel free to pause there if you want to read that latest technological or informational update. So looking at the Russian forces, I think we'll continue to harass the region of Muscovy and just try and threaten Moscow. Hopefully, if we do threaten Moscow and besiege the city, the Russians will be inclined to sue for peace. But they have declared war on us. It's not us declaring war on them. So we need to be mindful of that as well. I think we finished the research for the Vizierate. So I'm thinking, I think we need to look at getting the Vizierate buildings completed next turn or in the coming turns. Let's position our forces north of Warsaw. Do we need another unit of recruiting? We can maybe get... No, I think we'll be fine. I think if we just move our forces northward, we can just keep an eye on whatever the Polish are up to. We definitely cannot let them get to Gdansk. That is for sure. And I don't think the Prussians are at war with anyone else at this time. It's just the eastern factions. So Courland, Poland and Russia. It's very interesting. They have not budged at all, which is not something I expected from the Prussians, especially after securing more territory for them. But we'll have to see how things transpire. We just need to keep an eye on our Persian friends. They have a few units in Esfahan. No real threat, I don't think, to our forces. We could just attack them, I suppose, but we are waiting for those Nazim Isadit, which should come soon. I'm hoping we'll have captured Esfahan before 1740, if possible. But this way, it feels like it's something that's never going to happen. Russia, can we get peace with Russia? They don't want peace with us just yet. We have to make it a bit more of a painful situation for the Russians, I think, before they decide to declare peace with us. So we'll end the turn, we'll send our Hashashin in just to observe what is happening in Polish territory. And again, for all the time we've been at war with Kurland, we have yet to engage an actual army from Kurland in our territory. Okay, so Kurland would like peace, but they want 2,500. No ways. There's no ways we're giving you peace on those terms. So we can give you indefinite. Okay, they're not at war with Prussia. Okay, that's interesting. They are at war with Sweden, and Riga has fallen. So Sweden has lost Riga as well. So they've literally been pushed all the way back. Baltasi Mehmet is dead. Oh my gosh, we've got another state funeral to have. Baltasi Mehmet, our second general that we started the campaign with, has now died. The old guard has fallen like flies. Damat Aili, Sultan Mehmet Mustafa II, Baltasi Mehmet. So we have only one of our generals, I think, remaining. So Osman Satsi still remains in control of the Western Army. But for how much longer? It's like the old guard are all leaving, going to better adventures in the next world. I don't know. This is a really dark time for the Empire. The Russians have re-engaged war with us. We've lost the Sultan, we've lost key generals. We just have to keep ourselves prepared for whatever may come. And I think we do need to consider taking out the Polish sooner rather than later, because at this rate I don't think the Prussians are going to do anything. And our new generals will be that much less equipped to handle the battles that will be coming in the future. We've got our Vizierate being built in Baghdad, so I think to save some money in the short term we'll get rid of our Israeli line infantry. And as soon as that barracks is built, once the funds are available, we'll look to start recruiting the Nazim Isadit forces. Yeah, we'll get the Nazim Isadit forces ready. And then we need to also build a Vizierate barracks in Cairo so we can benefit from the Cairo Janissaries as well, because their stats are pretty good compared to Nazim Isadit as well, and a little bit better than the Bailak Janissaries. So we've got our the Western Army is back in Venice, so I think if we move this contingent into Kiev, it would just provide that additional protection in case the Polish decided to capture the city. I definitely think that's something that we need to do. And potentially, like, we haven't had any issues with the Knights of St. John, but it is potentially a region that we need to consider taking out before too long. Okay, we've got trade with Italian states. Can we get trade with Württemberg? They don't seem to want trade. Okay, they've accepted trade, so we've got some additional trade income, so that's good. So that's boosted up our trade income significantly. I think the French could be open up with their trading again, but we'll have to just wait and see. But yes, that's a good boost to our income regardless of what has happened. I think the Polish are declaring war on us. Oh my days, so much is happening in 1736. Polish have declared war on us, so we don't even have to worry about taking them out. Mighty and affluent, and they trying to take out us. This is ridiculous. Okay, I think we're going to need to capture Königsberg and then put some serious pressure on Vilnius. Although, looking at Vilnius, they have pretty much a 2-stack army surrounding Vilnius at this point. So, will you guys surrender? They've accepted the surrender. Okay, that's great. I definitely will want to keep hold of Königsberg for now, because the Prussians cannot be trusted to keep hold of the damn city. And we have some additional income, so yeah, we'll build the Vizierate in Cairo. That's good. We've got some additional technologies researched, new buildings have completed, so there's loads of positive news. Additional unit of Balak Janissaries in Mesopotamia. And let's just review our technological progression. So we'll get our measuring tools out so we can get the highest level of roads completed. And yes, okay, so there are some positives, definitely. There are some positives at this stage. We just need to quash the Russian rebellion, or the Russian war machine. Moscow is still under siege, and we need to keep an eye on these Polish forces. So I think that small contingent in the forest will head south to Lowell. So this is going to be tricky to manage this, but I think if we can maneuver our forces right, we should be able to defend our eastern frontier steadfastly from any Polish invasion. Do we capture the fort? I don't know if we can capture the fort. They have quite a lot of line infantry at this point. We need to just be mindful of our territory. Exposed territories, I should say. We're moving those units up to Kiev. That should be fine. Can we get peace with Russia? I doubt it, but they're still not accepting peace. Okay, we'll keep the pressure on. They don't look like they're being bankrupt just yet, and they do have some advanced tech as well. Let's see how we can maneuver things. We're trying. Oh, that didn't work. We were going to try and look to unsettle the population, but that hasn't worked. I have to keep trying a few turns time. Yeah, I think there's not much else we really want to do. We'll move them to Lowell just to protect Lowell. I don't think Kiev is in much danger at this point. We'll move our forces south just to ensure that we can protect both cities. And let's see what this next turn brings. Oh my gosh, the Spanish and their alliance treaties. This is ridiculous. Okay, the Polish are on the move, and oh my god, they're coming to Warsaw. No! No, no, no. We have like no troops there. This is going to be a intense battle. Definitely going to be an intense battle. They have like 5 line infantry, 3 grenadiers, 3 cannons, several units of cavalry, and we have 3 units and then a reinforcing contingent. Oh my gosh, this is not what we expected to have at this part of the campaign. So definitely make sure you join us for the next episode. That's it for today. If you found this enjoyable, please like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel to grow. Drop a comment about the Ottoman Empire campaign so far and anything you would have done differently. Thanks for watching. This is F. See you next time.